The truth of the matter is that we are the builders of this movement. We are the ones in the streets risking our lives going against the system. We are the policy creators and ground shakers. We are the ones who organize the survival programs and mutual aid for our people. We are the ones doing the educating, revolutionizing, and transforming of the masses. We are the ones that give every hashtag meaning, purpose, and direction. And we are the ones who will lead us into a future where freedom is not only possible, but our reality. The time has come for us to evolve from where our lives matter to where our lives are truly free. Welcome to the Black Freedom Movement.
We know how this movement started. We know when it started to go left. And we know how to get it back on track by getting back to the basics. Grassroots, community, organizing. So let's get back to our blueprint for Black unity by doing it how Marcus Garvey did it, like how MOVE did it, and like how the Black Panther Party did it. By feeding, clothing, housing, healing, educating, training, mobilizing, and organizing the people towards one goal and one purpose, Black freedom. So if you want to connect with other like-minded Black people around the world and build a real Black liberation movement, go to the IBFA.org.
What if we had the power to bring every Black leader throughout history together in this day and age? What could we accomplish? What if we brought the radical mobilizing of Dr. King together with the unapologetically Black organizing of Malcolm X? What if we used the political ideas of Fannie Lou Hamer and put it with the successes of Julius Nyerere, Patrice Lumumba, and Maurice Bishop? What if we created an entirely new economic system based on the philosophies of Dr. Claude Anderson, Muammar Gaddafi, and Thomas Sankara? How many Black Wall Streets do you think would exist today? And what if we created an organization in the transformational ways that Ella Baker did, or even a movement like Winnie Mandela did to end apartheid? How strong of a people would we be if a movement or an organization like that existed today? Now, what if I told you that we've already started?
So one day we were thinking, how do we fund a Black freedom movement in a way that's both ambitious and empowering, yet transparent and accountable to the people? And then it hit us, the Black Freedom Fund, a fund that's for the people, by the people. The Black Freedom Fund will work like this. Each month, we will put out a plan for how and where the money will be spent. Then we, the people, will put money into the fund. Grassroots Black organizations and collectives will be able to apply for grants through video, forming a level of transparency and accountability. A committee of activists, organizers, and movement elders will be tasked with choosing the grantees and working with them to ensure that they succeed. Each grantee will give monthly, quarterly, and annual reports back to the community, showing exactly who, what, when, where, and why the money was spent, so we can operate in trust and keep building the movement our people deserve. Sounds dope, don't it? Yeah, we know. So let's launch it. Click the link, check out the vision, and put your coins in so we can continue that freedom work. The Black Freedom Fund is brought to you by the International Black Freedom Alliance, a grassroots organization started out of Ferguson, Missouri, who's dedicated to liberation of all Black people everywhere.
Yo, yo. Can everybody hear me? So what's up? I'm going through that. How y'all doing, family? Let me get kind of situated behind here. Get the phone out to send out my, alerts and all that. Well, welcome to Black Revolutionary Education. And today we gonna talk about it for real. We gonna get into it. Because our theme today is why the lesser of two evils don't work. And they definitely don't work. And they're not going to work. Not in the current construct that we got to vote. It ain't going to work for us. As we can see recently with the budgets and the budget cuts from Trump. No, my bad, not from Trump, from Biden. Same white people doing the same stuff. So I'm kind of getting confused. But seems like every election cycle, be it midterm, presidential, state, and even sometimes locally, it'll be the same game. We got to pick between two races, or two house Negroes or somebody who ain't for us 100%. And that be the problem. So let me take that up on, but waiting on Bomani and Zasada to come through, get it going, so we can open it up, talk to y'all about how y'all doing. Okay, y'all ready? You sure? You got the thumbs up? That's funny. All right, with no further ado, Bomani and Zasada. What it do? Uh-oh. Let me unmute y'all. Y'all got to unmute yourself.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. Boom. We back. And we back.
Peace.
Peace, family. How everybody doing out there today? Welcome to another session of Revolutionary Education with the IBFA, the International Black Freedom Alliance, and Mad Liberation Education. Glad to be here. Make sure everybody like, share, do all that wonderful stuff, interact, put some questions in the comments, all that.
Talk shit if you want to, all that.
Yeah, right. That's what we here to do.
Because we ain't that far removed. So if you bring the petty,
that's our motto. Ain't that far removed.
T-shirts.
So we just want to do our, we always start in with check-ins, do a little grounding, making sure everybody's well. So I guess I'll start that. Since I was
listening. No, I was just listening to your pleasant, your pleasant professional voice tonight.
My nice voice,
yes.
Since last week, I've been doing better. Of course, we stay busy. Everything we, during the week, man, is every single day we have a meeting of some sorts. We with children, so we stay busy. Been very busy, very productive. I guess today I'm feeling well, and I'm just excited to be here again for another session of this revolutionary education.
Shizzle. Yes, my week has been great. The weekend was really good. We had a Conscious Fest here in Birmingham at the community center, which Tori has had a chance to visit. It was great. It was all love. It was, like I said, the dollar being recycled over 10 times, and if we wasn't recycling the dollar, we was bartering. So it was dope. I enjoyed it. We even had 3 of our students with their own booths out there for the pop-up shop. So that was definitely great as educators to see our students out there doing Ubuntu economics. So that was dope. As far as everything else, it's been good. We've been able to really, really connect with Tribe this week. Everywhere we've been, all the events we've been to, we've been linking up with Tribe. So that's always good. When you see your people, you know you're in the right place and you're doing the right thing. So, I sure.
How you feeling, bro?
Tired a little bit. It's been a week, definitely. Day before yesterday, young brother, who they call Lil Shine, was shot and killed. Shot and killed right in the complex, in the public housing where I stay, and it's just sad, man. Just you live in that environment. Young dude was like 19, so trying to do the best he can. His father was just killed and buried last Friday. Yeah, bro. So, and last year, a brother, same thing. Somebody shot him probably 3 feet from where LaShawn got killed. And then another kid, which he kind of grew up with, that I kind of mentored, Pusha, he was killed probably a month and a half ago. So it's been like back to back to back to back. And it's just like, it's kind of sad. But that's not even the sad part. Because a lot of young brothers, that's kind of like the cycle. And they trying to do what they do. And, it's just come with the territory. The thing that kind of got me down is really the neighbors. I found some black lawyers, a man and a woman, lawyers for 30-some years. They did all this. And they was like, man, we need to just get rid of all the public housing, push all the Negroes out, let the white people buy up the community. And, basically like us good coloreds will be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just, I never really shook it, because I'm not, I can expect somebody who go to the worst schools, eat the worst food, get all the worst to think the worst and be a pessimist. But somebody who living good, probably sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars, living in the hood, could be helping these people, could be helping us, putting resources. They ain't doing nothing. So I'm kind of low. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Yeah. Well, sorry to sadden it up, but
no. That's a reality.
Yeah.
That's a reality. That's a reality many of us face on a daily basis, doing this movement work, doing this healing work. We got sisters and brothers that specifically are out there to be there for families that have been hit by violent crime. So they do this every day. So that feeling that you feeling, they go through that on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure this charger plugged up, y'all. On a daily basis,
Mine too. Let me grab mine while we at it.
Right. But yeah, it's just like you said, it's a sad reality. And it's just, just keep it 100. It's just days like this where you just really just have to just be, you feel me? And not try to figure out the who, the what, the why, the where, all that. Is just regrouping, Yeah.
And that's why we here doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's why the revolutionary actions are imperative, to move in a revolutionary way, so we can rid that thinking that they, just get rid of the bad Negroes, get rid of the bad element, leave them stranded, right?
Yeah.
A lot of that bad element turns out to be our revolutionary leaders in the end. If we gave up on the bad element, Tori, you probably wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. Z wouldn't be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'll have a whole bunch of coon type house Negroes, trying to wake up the masses, if that, or trying to cold the masses to sleep.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you, bro. We appreciate all the work you're doing.
Right.
And like I said, we always here for you on a spiritual, mental tip, if need be. And that's a part of our thing too, is healing. We're getting free and we healing. Period.
Right.
I appreciate it. Damini said something. I remember Damini, who actually here in St. Louis, he reminded me of something in the comments in St. Louis, and I got hit up by like other organizers across the country. We dealing with somebody in St. Louis who is going around killing black women. So, one day we went outside, some other brothers went outside. So this weekend we're gonna have to really probably go out in force to really try to keep our sisters safe this weekend and try to build and try to figure out who this person is. The mayor's not really concerned. The police department, they, incompetent. The nonprofits that work around sex workers or even women rights, they ain't gonna put no boots on the ground to do what we gonna do. And so what we gotta do is is protect our people, especially like Malcolm said, the black woman is the least protected person on this planet. So as black men, we got to stand up and kind of do something. So
right. Let us know if we can assist in any way. We may know some people and some resources to get on the ground and just be on the lookout. Share some, share the information that y'all putting out. Because again, like you said, man, it's our obligation to protect everybody in our community. And unfortunately, the black woman has been the most unprotected amongst our community. So again, or the most attacked. From all establishments, including in-home, including in-house.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's our obligation in 2021, 2022 to, start walking like we talking, start living it like the stuff that we read, and instead of just talking about it, let's be about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get right. Okay, so on a lighter note, right?
Hey,
so on a lighter,
I'm gonna go backstage for a little bit. Call me when y'all need me.
All right.
Love y'all,
Peace.
man. Peace.
Running away per usual. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. But yes, in the previous weeks, we talked about the 4 pathways that the IBFA came up with to get to freedom, which was the ballot, the bullet, the book, and the boat. That went well. I thought it went very well. Thank you everybody for participating for those 4 weeks. It was very interactive. We had a lot of great substance-filled conversation around all 4 of those categories. And this week we're going to be talking about
the lesser of 2 evils. One thing that we learned about previous weeks in the ballot from Malcolm X was that we have to stop being manipulated by this 2-party system, right? We have to stop being manipulated by the Democrats and the Republicans. And we have to stop being what he called political chumps, right? So every time we vote Democratic and they don't adhere to their promises, we're chumps. And we don't even have the political power to hold them accountable for any of their promises, right? So today's topic, and I want people to tap in if you can, we're talking about the lesser of 2 evils. We're talking about the system that we vote for. We're talking about the Democrat. We're talking about the Democratic Party that we vote for each and every year, each and every election cycle, and they fail to deliver on their promises. So that's what we're talking about today. So again, this last voting cycle, Black people came out in historic numbers, according to a lot of sources, right? We came out in historic numbers, and we even were able to turn the state from red to blue, right? And Joe Biden recognizes, and he quotes and he says things like, you guys, speaking to Black people, you guys have always had my back. Now I'm going to have yours. On the night of his election, he talked about how the Black vote was a determining vote in him being in a position that he's in, him and Kamala Harris. Now it's time to come through on some of those campaign promises. But has he? Right? He's quoted saying that he's gonna put a curb in, or he's gonna tackle the issue of systematic racism, right? And when we talk about systematic racism, we're talking about racism within the schools. We're talking about racism within the economic industry, within the banking industry, with the loans. We're talking about systematic racial discrimination in the healthcare system, so on and so forth. What has he done? Right? What legislation has he put forth, to curb any of the systematic racism that he said he's going to tackle, right? Which is the reason why we allegedly voted for him. Another issue that the Democrats in general said they would tackle is this voting rights issue, right? Where these states are passing laws to make it harder for people to vote. And when they do that, it specifically affects Black people at higher rates, right? So States are passing laws, anti-voter type of laws that, they don't want people to get out there to the polls and making it harder for people to vote. He also said he was going to tackle that issue. No legislation has been set forth, right? Period. So again, man, when we vote for the lesser of two evils, what are we getting, right? Even if we do get something, these somethings are concessions or they're little petty reforms. They may speak some rhetoric or they may put something forth, but we usually don't get change, right? We usually don't get a systematic change, right. Period. So we're talking about the lesser of two evils, and specifically, the Biden administration has failed. It has failed all black folks that voted for him. He has failed all his voters. He's failing black folks across the nation that believed in him, including in the diaspora. Right. So one issue that America thought Biden would at least soften or adhere to was this immigration issue, of separating families, of the brutality that happens on a border, locking families up, incarcerating families, and so on and so forth. In this last month, excuse me, we've had a situation at the border. We've had thousands of Haitian refugees show up to the border seeking political asylum. And the reason I'm bringing this up first is because, again, Biden has failed black people across the diaspora, right? Because they thought that by Biden being the president, that when they showed up to the border, that they would at least be respected and at least be processed and at least go through the process of seeking asylum here in the United States, right? A lot of these refugees trekked hundreds of thousands of miles, at least thousands of miles through terrain that we wouldn't last an hour in, right? I was looking at some of the videos and some of the pictures, man. They were trekking through the jungles with their children, through all the way through South America, through Colombia, through Panama, through Guatemala, just to get to this border to be treated like animals, right? And I even seen pictures of these other countries assisting them, giving them assistance, buses when they could, helping them cross heavy terrain, in horse-drawn carriages, so on and so forth. But again, when they get to the border, this American border, they get there and they're treated like animals, right? We have footage, we have pictures of Border Patrol on horseback intimidating these refugees with their horses, using their reins like a whip to whip at these refugees. And this is 2021. It's nothing in the past. So on and so forth. And again, it's not because they're refugees, it's because they're black, it's because they're Haitian, right? So again, in the response, when the response from the Department of Homeland Security or just the federal government was to suspend the Border Patrol horseback division, right? They didn't suspend the people who committed the atrocity. They promised to investigate and there will be disciplinary actions. But they suspended the horseback regiment or whatever. So they just stopped them from being on horses. Right. And the horses weren't the problem.
Right. I'm about to say, but everything else continued.
Right. The horses weren't the problem. It was the people. It was the system that was set up. So again, with this, Biden is using Trump era tactics when it comes to these refugees or these immigrants that are coming to the border. So they're not getting due process, right? They're being deported back. I think they're giving them $100 when they get off the plane. You know how insulting, right? And another key factor of this is that a lot of these refugees haven't been in Haiti in years, right? So a lot of these refugees were displaced by the earthquake of 2010. And they ended up in places like Brazil, Chile, Venezuela, different places in South America that would accept them, right? And they waited to a prime time to make the trek to try to get to America, you know, this American dream stuff that's propagated across the world, so on and so forth. But they ended up at American borders, and again, were treated like animals, you know, treated like less than human. Um, and again, a lot. So the they're coming to the border, and many of them are being deported right back to Haiti, to a place that they haven't been to in 10 years. A lot of the children, right? So if they've been gone since 2010, and you see a lot of children that are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little babies, we see the pictures. We know that those children weren't born in Haiti.
Right.
Right. So a lot of those children are
Their mothers are pregnant when they left with them.
pregnant or just conceived and had the babies in Brazil, in Venezuela. So again, they're taking these children and putting them in foreign land and not even giving, you know. So again, this is Biden. This ain't Trump.
Right.
You know, and I could just reiterate all the atrocities that are associated with our Haitian brothers and sisters at the border.
And unfortunately, with that, we know how the story goes with that in America, of, you know, refugees coming in and the conditions that they're under once they get here.
Yeah. Right. So again, the lesser of two evils, what do we get? You know, our issues get put on the back burner as Black people. Our issues are bumped to the bottom of the priority list. And again, we get systematic concessions instead of systematic change. And we get like inclusion in areas that don't really,
you know,
like I say, he has one of the most inclusive cabinets ever. You know, he's put Asians and Blacks and Latinos. You know, he has an inclusive cabinet, but that's not helping us get to a point where we feel safe in our communities. It's not getting us to a point where our children aren't going hungry, right? Or being able to have healthy foods, fruits and vegetables in their schools and in their homes, right? It's not getting rid of food desert because he has an inclusive cabinet.
Yeah,
right?
It's not getting to inclusive issues,
and it's not getting
it doesn't reflect.
I mean, they made it doesn't reflect us.
Right.
Now they may be with some inclusive issues, but it doesn't reflect us as Black people here in America, right? So we have to stop shaming people for not participating in this two-party democratic system. We got to stop shaming people for voting a third party. Right?
Or not voting at all.
Or not voting at all, right? And some of the solutions, some of the things that we can do is build our own, right? We should act like we know that they're not going to do nothing for us and take care of ourselves, especially at times like this, where you have a whole pandemic with the coronavirus, right? And a lot of our people are vulnerable in these moments, especially as it relates to healthcare. Right? They talk about the healthcare system is overwhelmed, so on and so forth. And even before Corona, the healthcare system was overwhelmed for Black people. Right? They didn't have no time for no uninsured or lowly insured Black folks. Right? They get us in, get us out, test us, all that type of stuff just to get their little funds, but they weren't helping cure our community in any form or fashion. So again, the lesser of two evils. One of the promises that Biden promised too was to have some traction, or at least have the I don't know if it was called I think it was the federal police reform bill, right? On the anniversary of the George Floyd murder, right? So again, that bill, that federal police reform bill, is just sitting there. You know, that's something. If that was passed, if that was at least got some traction, that's something that he can at least say, I'm trying, you know, I'm trying to get this police reform bill passed. But again, it's just reforms. It's not change. It's not dismantling the system. But that's at least a show of I'm trying to do something for the Black community. I'm trying to hold on to my promises, but we get none of that. You know, and you know, we hate to say we told you so, but you know, we told you so. And you've seen it. Again, we've talked about this on previous sessions of revolutionary education with the IBFA and Mad Liberation Education, is that we were so elated to see Barack Obama take the throne as the leader of the free world as a Black man, right? And everything that we're talking about here, he failed us also as black people.
Right.
No matter what color he was or what color he claimed or what nationality he claimed, he failed us as black people. You know, there weren't under his administration, you know, we had more police murdering black people in the streets. You know, you had a different type of crises at the border where, you know, these cartels were getting freshly made American guns and doing their atrocities, you know, that guns that the federal government had access to, so on and so forth.
Right. And then tangent with that, not only did Obama fail us, we failed us.
Right.
Because we didn't make him do anything, you know, so it's on both sides.
Yeah, we failed to hold the establishment accountable, or we failed to gain the power to hold the establishment accountable.
Right.
Period.
Or to learn the civics of what we're voting for and how it works and all of those things like that. So we were ignorant to those facts as well, as we've been for generations, is what, you know, Malcolm was talking about, being political trumps. Is we're ignorant to the facts. Like you said, we have to get more politically, how do you put it? Mature, politically mature. Yes.
So yeah, we definitely have to do that. We definitely have to come with some tactics that help ourselves during these times. And yes, sometimes those reforms that they give us, some of those concessions they give us, allow us to breathe a little bit better. But in actuality, they're just reforms. It's not really change, right? It's not systematic change. And us, you know, and we have to think about that with these next election cycles coming up too. You know, do these people have our best interest at hand? You know, when for all of our folks that do participate in politics, who do participate in the ballot, you know, when you're with your caucuses or your money raising groups, some of the questions that need to be asked is you know, how are we going to hold this person accountable?
Right.
You know, what's this person's track record already? That's one way we can certify how the type of people that we are putting in office, especially as it relates to our local government. You know, what has this person already done?
Right.
You know, what are they doing now? You know, what organizations are they a part of? If we just see these folks are part of the Democratic this and the Democratic that, and you ain't a part of the community this or the community that or the collective this or the cooperative this, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe you're going to be about the business of freeing our people or to be about the business of creating Ubuntu within our communities.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So Bo and Z, I'm gonna come out the back cave.
Come out of hiding, man. Come outside.
Our bad.
I'm back. I'm talking about. So you said that the elected officials, we should know them. They should be a part of things already that's black or black centered or in the community. What happens when you get and I got a clip. So what happens when you do get somebody in there that's from us, that's a part of something that we create, but they go on like this?
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities. And we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
So,
Okay.
so you got Kamala Harris. She part of Divine Nine. She went to HBCU. She the vice president. She the second in command. And when the sister asked her directly what you got specifically for black people, and that's a thing like that's the ADOS thing. I like that. That's one good thing that I can point to. They talk about specific for us. But when they asked that question, she didn't have nothing. She said it. I ain't got nothing for you. No, I'm not.
That's for everybody.
That's for everybody.
So again, they'll say some shit like the
Yeah.
contradictions, right? So she'll say something like, "Oh, we'll do some tax credits for people who are making less than." Like you separating the people right there. So why you can't separate racial lines? If you
Keep
can
going.
separate and say, "I'll give
That's
people
my
that's
class.
making under $100,000 a tax credit," basically, taxing the rich, letting it trickle down to the poor, right? So again, we're not going for that. This is a question that has been asked since the beginning of integrational politics with black folks, right? Since we integrated into their politics, what y'all gonna do for black folks? What y'all gonna do for us? So what you gonna do for the free population? What you gonna so on? So this is not a new question that they be fucking dodging.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So
that they still don't have an answer for, by the way.
Yeah,
No.
not a real quick, not
Right,
a real,
right.
just what is it? Rising tides lift all ships, but white people put a hole in our boat. So
right.
you know how that's gonna work out for us.
Right.
They wasn't they was answering when they were saying, what are we gonna do with the Japanese population in the 40s?
Internment
They
camps.
knew what they, when they said, what are we gonna do about the Jewish population, so on and so forth. Like they had answers. Like, what are you gonna specifically do for Jews in America during this time? They had, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make sure you guys get some land. We're gonna make sure this. We're gonna make sure so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Like they know. What are you gonna, come on. So
They
again,
can't even metaphorically give us nothing.
Not even metaphorically.
That's fuss. That's messed up.
So again, when
They
we
got
do
symbolism
finally,
though.
Now you feel me?
We can get some of this.
Right.
that's it. That's what we get.
Right.
We get that. We got a whole
guess
bunch. We
what
can
else
get
though?
that.
Sad part
Just
about
lit.
it is
Just
our people are satisfied with that shit.
they love that. That's
They gonna say,
Clyburn.
well, you know what I'm saying? Well, they kneeled and they was in solid. That's what they call solidarity right here.
They woke.
That's solidarity.
Mm.
They stay woke. Kente Cloth.
I'm sick. Like
She
really,
finna- this lady-
that
this lady right there.
that
She picking
We
something
said
off
bring
the
it back up. You want to see it again, Z, huh?
Yeah, you see that lady in the middle? She picking something off the ground. She like, nah, I'm finna pick this.
She done dropped her contact.
Yeah.
right.
She ain't even. She
Damn,
actually, it fell on her head, and she looking
Like
for
you
her
said, damn, a
contact.
piece of cotton fell out her pocket in that motherfucker. Like, hold on.
She on that floor, them hard ass bare knees and shit, bro.
That's
That
what we
hard-ass
got.
floor.
Man.
Osteoporosis
Now,
kicking
so
in. Let me
again,
stop.
and
Okay.
again, what is it about us that allow us to be satisfied with that? Or when the brothers and sisters war, like, man, this some bull. You know what I'm saying? Let's call them out on their racism in this moment, right? Because y'all are what they call a cultural appropriation, so on and so forth. We was looked at like we crazy, like, man, at least they trying to do something, but they didn't do something with that pen.
Do something with that pen.
That pen.
I see Keon. What up, Keon?
Peace.
Yeah,
Yes.
peace, brother, peace.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Keon said, "Let's see what he talking about."
He's so funny.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence, Keon.
Man.
What really benefits black people is being the oppression on us. And we get the black person to try to hit us with the language that reminds us of the struggle for Teddy Berbiers.
Right.
Come on, man. Like, That's the point of it. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? So you try your hard to put somebody in there.
Let me see.
They get in there and it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Now you sad. You know, you didn't put your energy like the brothers, like, you know, brothers and sisters that went to Georgia and you know, flipped, like you said, won the primary, then flipped the whole state from red to blue. You won by like thousands of votes. You know, one brother, I think he ran by like hundreds of votes just to get in. And I don't hear him. I don't know. I ain't seen or heard alls off. I ain't seen or heard Warnock talk about reparations.
Man, same thing in Alabama, man. We got Doug Jones and all type of stuff happening here. Black women, super sheroes doing a thing, right? And what do we see for it, right? They gave us money. They gave money for Corona. You know, they gave. I can't think of
the COVID relief bill.
The COVID relief. Guess what we did with the COVID relief bill?
What's that?
We building prisons, bro. With the COVID relief money, they approved X amount of billions to go to building these new prisons that they got for us. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a COVID relief, man. Let's build some institute. Let's get this healthcare stuff we're talking about. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let's give people some healthcare for a year. Go ahead and say, look, everybody in Alabama, you got an Alabama ID, you a resident. We paying for free healthcare for your ass for a year. Or like something. Like y'all building something. Y'all building prison. That's y'all relief. So again, that is their relief to build prisons. That is their COVID relief plan.
And then to give you your ass your healthcare inside of the walls.
So in these next 5-10 years after this prison is built, y'all niggas, we finna be arresting y'all. Y'all poor people, we finna be arresting y'all. Your children that we already are criminalizing in the system, we finna be arresting y'all. Y'all finna fill these prisons and we're gonna get our money back. That's a business deal that they doing with that money. And it's a long-term business deal.
Especially Alabama is historical for that period as far as the prison industrial complex is concerned. And then Kay Ivey is coming with that literacy bill that's definitely finna have our babies jacked up and, like Mo said, filling up the prisons. You can't read at a third grade level. In third grade, they holding you back, period. Which goes into being underdeveloped. What goes into this going on your medical history and your history, period. You know what I'm saying? So it's keeping you from getting everything, getting firearms, getting all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just because the system has failed us.
And I want to point a couple things out. Is that our people historically have had this thing called hope, right? Hope. Like we hope this happened. We hope. Right, these people followed Jim Jones to the jungles of Africa to drink the juice, to be ascended. You know, like you know, and when he was in California, Jim Jones, like he had a whole cult of black folks, and all those black folks. When you see interviews of them, they just had hope. They'll give their whole check to this dude just because they had hope that there was an act of hope that we can not be discriminated against in this racist society, so on and so forth. And we're willing to drink the juice because we got hope. In the Democratic Party, even some people drink the juice of the Republican Party and get out there and, you know, most of those dudes, I think, just getting a check when they Republican capping. You feel me? But they're drinking the juice. And a lot of us see it and we like, damn, that do make sense. What's her name? Candace Parker?
Yeah.
Candace Owens.
Ooh.
Don't do Candace Owens.
Like some black folks really do sit and say, damn, man, she do make sense, though. Like, you know, so again, like this hope that we got to get rid of. And the second thing I want to say, and we could discuss, and Keon, I know you get in on this, but it's the political trauma that we suffer every time we vote for them. And we talked about this on the session also, is that we suffer trauma every time we vote for the Democratic Party and they don't deliver on their promises. We suffer trauma, especially the voters, especially people that go walk and knock on doors, especially the people that's out there wearing shirts and they putting their reputation on the line in black communities to get people to vote, and then you disrespect them by not even putting none of the issues on a platform that you have me knocking on these doors for.
Right. Or
that's trauma.
You got the right person running for the job, but we not, you feel me? We not putting the support behind the foot soldier for real, and that fucks with them.
I know a sister here, she worked damn near on everybody in the primary campaign. I think she got in under Bloomberg because that was the only person that would hire her. Then Bloomberg said, I pay everybody for the rest of the year. Well, no matter what you do, just go out there and make sure people vote. Warren campaign, I think, picked her up and did that. And then, Warren lost. And then she went to go work. And then she was like, well, I just wanted to be a woman. I just want you holding out. It's like, I want somebody like, and Biden got in. She was just like, I can't even go into my community and knock doors with confidence and tell my people to vote for this person.
Right.
Like, I'm the voting person and I can't even go out and go knock the door to say vote. Like, and then they criticized her for that. They was like, you're a coward. Dude. Like, damn, like I can't have no morals and integrity.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, man, you suffered trauma. You talked about your trauma with Obama. That Obama trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Obama trauma.
Obama, or keep Obama for your mama.
That Obama trauma, man. So again, a lot of us is like, damn, man, I fucked up. I believed in the system for a second. I thought it was historical. I thought, this would be written about revolutionarily in history books, but it's not. So again,
I want to cry just thinking about my vote.
I want to take my vote. I need my vote. So again,
when I think about Obama, I be mad. I be ready.
Trauma.
I be ready to throw hands at that dude.
I waited all them years to vote. Y'all did me like, y'all, that was wrong right there.
I be ready to get that dude the hands, dog.
Man, he out here floating on rafts and shit in Hawaii with the family and shit, man. You done killed all these folks, bombed all these folks.
Right.
Got AFRICOM cracking, where you got all these military bases in Africa.
Drones
and we're gonna talk about that too, in further sessions. All these military bases that they set up in Africa for allegedly Boko Haram. You know what I'm saying? The small little organization that's causing terror. You know what I'm saying?
we ain't gonna
terror,
get
but
that.
come on.
Because when I was on the continent, we had a conversation, and the brother's like, "Man, Boko Haram, a couple hundred people, man. That's it."
Come on, man. Come on. So again, y'all setting up bases. So again, we're gonna talk about that in further discussions. So again, man, you want to get to some of these comments? I don't know, Keon in there going.
It's a lot of comments. Before we get to the comments, I'm gonna cue up the video of Malcolm, and then I'm gonna pull up some comments. It kind of speaks to what you said earlier. You laughing? Clips. Yeah. It talked about Malcolm talking about we chumps and how how the Democrats and the Republicans do us. So see if I got it right here. All right.
This is why I say it's the ballot or the bullet. It's liberty or it's death. It's freedom for everybody or freedom for nobody. America today finds herself in a unique situation. Historically, revolutions are bloody. Oh, yes, they are. They have never had a bloodless revolution or a nonviolent revolution. That don't happen even in Hollywood. You don't have a revolution in which you love your enemy. And you don't have a revolution in which you are begging the system of exploitation to integrate you into it. Revolutions overturn systems. Revolutions.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So again, I just want to what's it called?
Reiterate
that here at the IBFA, with Mad Liberation Education, and hopefully throughout the diaspora, we're talking about revolution. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about concession. We're talking about revolution. We're not
talking about reform. We're talking about revolution.
We're talking about overthrowing this current, whatever we call it, this current system, these current systems. We're talking about overthrowing it and coming anew.
And that means having a plan, though. We can't just destroy some shit and not have a plan. We just gonna be around some destroyed stuff.
Yes, you just going knocking over Thanksgiving dinner because you don't like turkey. Now we all hungry.
I'm with it.
We ain't talking about that. We do fish. We're gonna
okay.
No, but seriously. So again, we in the process of this, we have to survive. So I know a part of our survival is making sure that we do have a system of healthcare that got our well-being at hand.
And education.
That we do have a system of education that will educate our children, but that hasn't been happening, as we know.
Y'all have been nominated to run for office, I believe, by this comment right here.
Pieces. Come home and make some lentils.
we could be the unofficial official, you know what I'm saying, elected officials of Birmingham, but nah. We like where we at in our position as far as the community. I love the respect that we get in the community as people who do stuff.
Right.
You know, as people that's gonna fight. People love that, you know, we our heart is big. Like that's our most valuable thing that we have is our heart is big. So with this revolution, we love our folks. That means we willing to die about it, be about it, whatever, you know. So again,
because we've done it before in these streets off of ignorance. So now I'm, like I said, not deaf, dumb, and blind. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I've always been with it, but now I'm really with it. You feel me? So yes. Yeah. And we all, Tori, me, we all represent the streets too. I do like that about us. You feel me? That we can go. I feel like we can go to any hood, and we have across the United States. Go to any hood and be straight. Feel me? I mean, real recognize real.
I ain't never lived in a safe community,
right? Ever, but I'm still here.
It's a website, you know, that's called something called like citydata.com. So and every time I look at my neighborhood I live in, because I never look it up beforehand, I never think about it. But I be like, man, my shit the red zone for everything.
All red dots.
Y'all even look, even taking bikes. I'm like, damn, even the bikes are dangerous.
You know, so again, you know, we love being a part of our community and be able to say that in our communities.
And the part of our healing, this is part of all of our healing. You feel me? The ones who was running rapid in the streets and all that and causing destruction at one point in our life, we got to fix it, man. That's our duty.
Right. So I know the sister said something about the HBCU in the comment, but again, Biden with the HBCU thing, when I see that he's, you know, cutting the funding that was promised to the HBCUs by 30-some million or whatever it is,
5 million.
It makes me want to say
billion. My bad, billions.
It makes me want to say I told you so. it makes me want to say look. That's what y'all called for.
Right.
No. You know, that's what y'all voted for. That's what y'all had people pissed off about.
Y'all intentionally voted for that. So you can't even
specifically the HBCUs.
Right.
So in this moment, Tori, and I'm not trying to shame nobody, but I am.
Go ahead.
The sisters that was out here with the Chucks and Pearls on. Seriously, no, this is a serious question.
Yeah.
What power do you have now to hold this administration accountable to something as trivial as HBCU money? Knowing that the HBCUs are the reason, not black folks, these HBCU sisters specifically are the reason why you are in office.
Right. Hell,
it's
excuse me.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, I think she pledged to a.
She AKA.
Yeah.
So again, what power? What political power do they do? Like I say, I'm not saying that they weak or nothing, but I do want to see where y'all power lay at to hold these people accountable because you got them in. You know,
like you said, this hope thing with black people is like that was their hope being manifested. You feel me? We got
one person being the vice president was
real though. Really,
that was Jesus.
Just like we did with Obama.
Right.
Same thing. You feel me? The savior complex can go for white and black shit. Apparently,
I always said this. I felt like this, and I understood it from like a political maturity kind of point where, for most of black people, Obama getting in right was it, and then it was sour grapes. You know, he said he was gonna do universal health care. We got a healthcare tax, you know, what they call Obamacare. But if I don't pay for it, nigga, I get it. But I can't just walk anywhere and use it. So it ain't like I got some kind of affordable access to healthcare. I still got to go to the clinic anyway, and that's $12.
Right.
So that was the same thing I was doing before.
Right.
And then what happened was the black women was like, well, now it's our time. And I was like, damn, I thought Obama was our time.
Collectively.
Exactly.
Collectively. So then I was like,
Right.
you know what? We might have to let the sisters fail with Kamala.
No, and we always and again the political side of all this is that we do support our sisters.
Yeah.
We do support y'all decisions, and again, even with y'all telling people to vote, we support to protect y'all while y'all out here doing so. Y'all have the right to do so.
Right.
But what's the next step when we've invest? Because it wasn't just them that invested in this. Like I say, we've invested in this. We've defended y'all online and so on and so forth. What's the process? What's the procedure now for holding them accountable, for holding Kamala accountable? Are we just gonna the thing that Obama did the greatest was make sure that his face was good?
Right.
He didn't have any scandals that embarrassed black people as a whole.
Yeah, we appreciate that a little bit.
We appreciate a little bit, but he did. You know, when you look into his track record and seeing the stuff that he was doing, the stuff that the people that he bombed, you know, the what they call them them fire strike missiles that he
drone
was
strikes.
Them drone strikes, them fire. They was calling them hellfire missiles from them drones. When you see some of that footage, you're like, yeah, that's embarrassing. Coming from a black man, a black woman, a family, you know, y'all like killing.
We got an answer for that.
But
black people, people from around the world are asking us, y'all down with them? We like, nah. Well, why he doing it? I'm like, hold on, he ain't my cousin or uncle. Man. Hold on, man.
But I was just gonna hit on that, right? I was just gonna say that with the sorority, like you said, the Chucks and Pearls thing. That's all. You're not politically educated because all of these sorority people, they have children. You know what I'm saying? Daughters and things like that. That you don't understand what the Chucks and Pearls is even about. You just know we're gonna wear this because there's a black woman president who was an AKA. No political education behind that whatsoever.
None of that.
That's how we continue to be political chumps.
Right. We allow, you know, folks to come in off their wonderful words.
Right.
What
give us free ice cream in the park one day and
my God.
You feel me?
What the hell Clinton said? She said, man, I keep hot sauce everywhere I go.
Child.
I keep hot sauce in my purse.
Even Kamala talking about she listened to Snoop in college. Bruh.
Come on, man. Y'all playing.
Come on now. Don't play with us right now. Don't insult us. How about that?
Speaking of that, look, I wanted to chop this because this really caught me, you know, because Kamala went to the Breakfast Club. I guess she got older or younger because she said she was listening to Tupac smoking weed in college. I'm like, baby, that's a whole nother time. But I guess after that, Biden had to go on there, and I got the conversation with Biden and Charlemagne.
Yeah,
that was a mess.
Oh my God. So and I just want to, and this is like a rewind for y'all. It's really for the We Told You So crowd. We just gloating for like an hour and some change. We just gonna laugh at you. For any Negro who told us this last year, anybody who said that, anybody who was on this type of time, vote blue, no matter who. If you was one of them Negroes, this for you.
This for you. I'm about to say this one's for you.
This one
is so dedicated to you.
I want to ask you about your running mate. I don't know if you saw. Well, I saw the day that a news report broke that Amy Klobuchar was being vetted, and a lot of people on social media, they're not too happy about that, and it's because they want your running mate to be a black woman. I don't know if you saw the op-ed in the Washington Post by some of the leading black women voices in this country, and they feel since black women are such a loyal voting bloc, and black people saved your political life in the primaries this year, they have things they want from you, and one of them is a black woman running mate. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who is being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered. Multiple.
Well, you know,
thanks so much. That's really our time. I apologize.
You can't do that to black media.
I can't do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run. I mean, come on. Take a look at the record.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Anyway, thanks. I will come back.
All right.
I look forward to seeing you in person.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay, pal. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, Charlamagne.
I ain't black.
I ain't black.
Me either.
NAACP has endorsed me every
Oh
time.
my!
That's already a red flag.
That's the reddest of flag that
What?
you've ever had.
Nah. So again, there's this. It's from the mouth of the elite. If you don't vote Democratic, you ain't black. You tapped into our culture and made the Democratic Party a part of our culture. Right? We have memes online that say if you ain't ate this or you ain't been exposed to chitlins and fish and grit, you playing us, bruh. And people took that lightly. People took that as some type of joke. They thought it was funny just to post it, but that's some real implications behind that. These white folks sit and they think like, we got this. We got the whatever black person vote, whatever black people vote, they will vote blue. You know what I'm saying? It's like they think that's a part of our fucking culture.
Right. Unless they military, which usually they vote Republican.
And they brainwash us, like she said, that's a fact too. And they brainwash us to say, "Oh, I'm Democrat. My children." What Keon talking about?
Keon cooked. He said we continue to be political chumps because they got all their political education from YouTube and TikTok revolutionaries that ain't solid on their understanding. Like, damn, you can't fact check shit. Like,
yeah.
Like he's saying, oh, I extended the I extended the voting rights. Yeah. And 40 years ago you voted against busing.
Right.
So you spoke at Strom Thurmond's, you eulogized Strom Thurmond, a straight
and you were
white separatist, from the South.
The way you advocated for the crime bill 94, which also included the immigration bill, right? Because there's immigration implications in that bill. Also, you already hated immigrant. We know, like, say this immigrant, this Haitian thing ain't nothing new with you, bro. I was looking at some I was doing my research for this session today, and somebody posted online from 1994 where he made the quote, if Haiti would just sink or go 30 feet above sea level, we wouldn't have to worry about them. And he was speaking as far as, them invading Bosnia or Haiti. Like, why should we even worry about Haiti? And people defended him and said it was like, he wasn't really talking in that context. But for you to say that, you basically saying, nigga, genocide to Haiti, and we don't got to worry about it.
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter in our interest one way or the other.
And that's what he means, too.
And that's what he meant.
And in the 90s, they did occupy Haiti. You know what I'm saying?
And they did allow hundreds of thousands of Bosnians to come over here.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It got real life ramifications from that. He created policy and procedure and laws behind that shit.
Come on, bruh. And so again, like, we're not sitting here complaining about something that's going on. We sitting here saying that we need to stop this shit from going on in the future. Stop being political chumps. Stop allowing ourselves to be wooed by these political parties. In the Republic,
you see no evidence of their work.
No, none whatsoever. Nothing. We can't name. I don't know, man. Like I can try to sit here and try to name something, and I'm not as educated in this field. But like, what has the government done for Black folks in my lifetime? I'm 30-something years old, in the mid-30s. So what have they motherfuckers done?
I really can't. I can't pinpoint.
Shit, we came in during the destruction period.
Yeah, it has been all destruction. They disguise it. Yeah. They say shit like, "We're gonna fight a war against drugs," and then they criminalize the whole hood.
But they let the boats get here, and then they let them distribute it to every house in the hood and all that stuff instead of catching the boat.
They offer no mental health services, no recovery services. None of that. They offer prison to our folks that was going through that stuff. They only now do they offer alternatives to people who sell drugs or people who do drugs. Opioids. You know, come on. So again, like you guys have criminalized us. You guys have had a war against our folks. War against our folks. Period. Forever. Y'all ain't done nothing. And those little concessions that we get are just concessions. They end. You know, it's a new thing that happens, and we forget easier now, Tori, because of social media. Right. We got way more distractions. Right. So back in the day when Latasha Harding,
yeah. From Compton.
You know, when say Natasha Harding got killed. You know, people was talking about that for a long time. People was talking about the OJ trial for a long time. And you know, now motherfuckers hear about the Haitian refugee crises on a border. And now that was September, you know, the week of September 25th, 24th. Now motherfuckers ain't even talking about it. Yeah. It's not an issue no more. Ain't no more hands off Haiti. Ain't no more hope for Haiti. Ain't no more pray for Haiti on social media accounts, because we on to the next motherfucking thing.
But think about what happened during Katrina on domestic soil. We were calling our own people like they from Louisiana.
Refugees.
Hell, they refugees when they from like next door. Y'all, man, they forgot about that quick. Like I said, we have ADHD when it comes to these type of issues. And that shit just slips our mind, and then we let social media tell us what to care about and not care about. And all this, you feel me? I don't half of this shit like Lil Nas. I don't know none of that shit until these revolutionary people that's supposed to be revolutionary be posting about it on my Facebook, and I'm like, how?
I'm not concerned, beloved.
At all. Period. Didn't even know about it.
Wouldn't know unless you come
right until you brought it to my damn attention, and it's just ridiculous.
Right,
it's just ridiculous.
And that put that comment that Keon said right there. Say all that they've really done is go back and forth on the same policies that they've been doing for the last 50 or 60 years, undo and redo them.
Playing a hot potato with that motherfucker.
When no bullshit. When you look up what's going on in Congress right now, what Keon just said is what's going on. Undo, voting right. Like I was telling my daughter, she was reading. Or this week in school was Ida B. Wells, and some of the vocabulary was like lynching and so on and so forth. And I was telling her that Ida B. Wells was one of the, you know, maybe the originator of like trying to, you know, get
documenting the lynchings.
Documenting and trying to get some laws for anti-lynching. And I was telling her only this year you got, you know, 2020, the motherfuckers still talking about the anti-lynching bill in Congress. It's 2021.
Oh, Emmett Till.
And the Emmett Till bill. The Emmett Till bill that I'm talking about this year. It's 100 years from over 100 years from when his sister was doing this. And we've only now reintroducing this back into Congress. The Emmett Till bill, I was telling her that they got an Emmett Till bill.
It's just sitting in committee right now.
It's like an anti-lynching bill. But how the fuck y'all gonna have a bill or pass a bill or even put a bill on a table with this man's name on it, and the accuser
is alive and
well? Instigated all this. Right. It hasn't been charged in any criminal fashion whatsoever.
Yeah, you know her whereabouts.
She's an accessory.
Right. But you murder. Still want Assata though.
You know, but y'all want Assata. Come on. So again, it's like, and our children are asking these questions, making us have to dig deeper. But yes, only this year they still talking about anti-lynching bills. Keon, they still talking about what some of the other things that the Voting Rights Acts and so on and so forth.
And like you said, 50 to 60 years, and then these are the same people going back and forth. It ain't even nobody new in Congress arguing or going back and forth about this shit. It's the same old ass white men.
Yeah,
and it back and forth.
We got a comment from YouTube and say, D Magic Bunny, the lesser of two evils is still evil. They'll vote no matter who. Who the fuck came up that? Who the fuck sat somewhere and said, well, just tell the niggas vote blue no matter who? I mean, it's Trump. I'm like, yeah, Trump bad. And I feel like, another part is like, we will be remiss without really kind of like talking about like the GOP, because it becomes like people say, oh, you must hate the Democrats, you must be a Republican. I'm like, no, how you like both of them racist?
Yeah,
right.
I see both racist. You only see one.
Exactly.
And then Negroes Negroes sitting somewhere arguing over which slave master is better.
It's better.
Who got the better slave master? My slave master in Missouri treat me better than the ones in Mississippi. Oh no, yeah, you think you got it good? I'm out here in New York, and they surely is nice to me. It's like, man, that's the same shit I imagine we was talking about black people while we was enslaved 200-300 years ago.
Right.
And it did happen.
And it did happen.
It did happen.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this. I believe that black people, and I ain't capping for the Republican Party, bro.
Me neither.
But I believe that black people are less. Let me see how to say this. We experience racism less in Republican zones than Democratic zones, right? And let me explain that. So here in Birmingham, Alabama, or here in Alabama, we us black folks in Alabama, we don't discriminate. I mean, we don't feel or the discriminatory things like in New York, where the person behind the counter won't even touch your hand to give you the change, right? Where motherfuckers making you walk across the street. We don't feel that shit here. These motherfuckers is racist systematically, but we don't feel the brunt of these motherfuckers like being racist again because they know a little bit. That aggressive racism. Right. When we think about the people who being gunned down by the police, these are in the metropolitan areas. These are the areas where black folks left the South to go. These are under democratic policies that these police aren't being punished. Our folks aren't coming to justice in these democratic cities. These aren't Republican cities.
These ain't so. Part of it is a conversation we had in 2016, trying to get to Bernie Sanders. This conversation, me, Erica Garner, rest in peace, Erica Garner's daughter who passed away. We had this conversation one time, and she was like, "Well, Bernie, economic." I said, "Yeah, he got a dope economic plan, but I just want to be clear for everybody that this shit happening in democratic cities and sometimes democratic states. So it's like New York is a democratic state.
Yeah.
But we know the NYPD is horrible.
Yeah.
They turn niggas up. So
right.
And they would say, yeah, I said, I live in St. Louis. It's been a democratic city for about 70, 80 years. And police turn us up. We number one in the country.
Yeah.
In police killings. And we ain't even, we small, but we ain't like, So it's like Chicago. Rahm Emanuel left the White House with Obama to hide and do a cover-up of the killing of Laquan McDonald. These democratic cities, family.
Right.
Then we talk about Republican states, if I'm in this or not, but it's like damn near all of California is Democrat.
Yeah.
But the LAPD just, it being investigated, they got the largest police gang in the country.
Yeah.
This is what they do.
And again, we not trying to put on for the Republican Party because there are different issues that affect the red states, such as poor education systems, such as poor health care, such as so again, it's not no better, but at least we did again. I just wanted to point out that these democratic states, these democratic ran areas are no better than motherfucking living here in Alabama with the systematic racism that we experience. So again, it's like fuck both of these parties. And again, what is our solution, Tori? What do we do? You know what I'm saying? So again, we build our own institutions. We talk about things and we try to push things like our own nation, separatism, reparations, right? So again, we're trying to do the right thing, building our own parties, building our own system. We have these big old caucuses, but we don't have these parties. You know what I'm saying? We got 1,000 black folks, thousands of black folks across the nation that are part of these PACs, raising money, bringing money out of the black community to give to these politicians, but we don't have our own parties to donate that money to.
It's our problem is to me, and now we get into the solution part. It's to me, it's threefold. It's 3 parts solutions that we not taking up. So yeah, one, we do got packs. We got packs. I know Sean King got a pack. I know it's a black pack. I know Black Voters Matter. I know Color Change. But it's not one that's really trying to cultivate black candidates. So one, we don't have our own pack. 2, we not cultivating our own candidates. And 3, we don't have our own party. So I done been on calls. And matter of fact, when I get off of this, I'm jumping on another call because, you know, it's some brothers and sisters that's trying to start a party. And when I asked them what the platform was about, right, I'm trying to see. And it's like, they wasn't talking about reparations. I'm like, how can you have a party for black people? And then they at the top of the list. Like, we can debate about what the reparations look like later, but
we gonna ask
like that got to be on. That should be a non-negotiable. Right. Free housing, free health care, affordable health care, universal. I don't even care if you say it ain't free. We can push from affordable based on income or something.
Right.
How you don't have 40 acres and a mule on your platform? So it's like we don't have. We talk about a lot of stuff, but we don't talk about self-determination when it comes to electoral politics. We talk about inclusion, diversity, influence, access, the ability to go, you know, a lot of these Negroes were sick because, you know, when Trump went in there, I made a tweet and I know I'm pissed niggas off because I was like, now y'all ain't no more White House parties for you Negroes. You know, y'all didn't bring nothing back from the black community when y'all went, but, you know, at least y'all ain't finna be in there eating arugula and, you know, right, tandoori chicken, and I'm out here in the slums putting in work, and your people messed up, and it's like that's where we got to go into. So I feel like, you know, us as an organization, we tried to do this in 2020 with some other organizations. They wasn't really with the they really wanted to push it for real, like go aggressive at it, and then we had some other things going on. With trying to bring in Cobra and ADOS to talk about reparations, to have one platform, all those things fell apart. But this time we have an opportunity as an organization to really push what we call it is like a justice ballot, a ballot initiative to hold these electeds accountable. In some places, like Jim Clyburn in South Carolina, we got to find somebody to run against some of these Negroes, because if you're not on our platform and our agenda around reparations, 40 acres in the mule in the land, and stopping AFRICOM and those things that are essential to black people thriving and living, then we're going to have to find Negroes and run them against these people. I don't know how many we can pick off. There's about 27 that we have identified at the federal level. But if we just get one, we could be like the Tea Party at that point. Yeah, you just get one of them in Congress. You got one. Now you legit. Now we can go out to the school boards, the mayors, the city councils, all of that. But it start with getting the consciousness of on a platform, not a person, not a man or a woman. It don't matter if it's me, Bo Z, it don't matter. And we're about if the person is executing the plan of the people. And that's all that matters. All that other shit, it fade. You know, you'll be Cory Booker. You'll be living in the projects in New Jersey, voting to bring more police to the projects in New Jersey. Right. So you got to have the agenda. The person just execute. What this sister say here? Somebody said that, D, I don't know who you are, fam. You need to join the IBFA because you clear and concise with your analysis. And that's a fact. And that alludes to what y'all said and Z said earlier. The Stop Asian Hate Bill passed, I'm talking about within 30 days.
Right. Expeditiously.
Oh my God. And in the words of T.I., expeditiously. Quick and hurry.
And it was specific for a people based off of their race.
That was Joe Clark.
You know. Joe Clark, yeah, he did. You know. No, that's so real. Funny. That's real. So again, they could do it and they can even talk about it. But when it comes to black folks, it's taboo. Because they know they know who their power structure is. Again, we always talk about this black freedom, black power, but we never realize it that it's in a white power context or a white dominated. We jumped off for a minute. So I know we ain't got much more time. At the beginning of the show, you played a clip and you were talking about the Black Fund. What you talking about, Tori?
So this month we'll be launching the Black Freedom Fund. We coordinate with brothers and sisters all around the world. We have been, for the last couple months, really breaking down ideology and philosophy and actually presenting solutions. So this month we wanted to get to talking about like some things that apply to us. But we all got great ideas. I know D probably got some dope ideas. I know Keon doing work. He doing programs in Alabama. It's a lot of us that got great ideas. But unless we are unified with our ideas and we can raise money together in one fund, have people working together to distribute the funds and execute the plan, then we just Negroes talking. And so we're gonna do something a little opposite of what Black Lives Matter do. We're gonna be real public, we're gonna be real transparent, and we're gonna let the people see what it is. So we're gonna present the plan, people gonna see it, and then we're gonna ask 5, 10, whatever you put in. It don't really matter how much, it just matters that the Black people, our people, can come to a consensus that we're gonna start a culture of raising our own funds. You know, we can disagree with people and all this, but I'm just being honest with you. It's no way that Umar don't have enough money for his school. He should have enough money to even fail. We should be funding the experiment of, can this brilliant brother who's great on, education topics, can we raise the money for this brother to execute on that? These are the ideas when people put forth around Black business apps, and we need our own social media. We should say, all right, next month we're gonna put these money in, we're gonna build it ourselves. And so the Black Freedom Fund is us trying to be vanguards and actually putting our money where our mouth is and being courageous. If we only raise $10,000, we know what to do with it. If we raise $10 million, we know what to do with it. If we get $1 billion from, I don't know, Dan Quixote in Nigeria with Oprah and Jay-Z, if they just feeling like they feeling some type of way, pull up. But we got a plan, we got a vision. We've got members all around the world that can execute it to the fullest extent. So, for sure.
So I definitely want everybody to be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Again, we want you to be on the lookout for our study group, the Mad Liberation Education Study Group. We're finna start a new book, and just think about creating or joining a IBFA branch, chapter, organization that's local to you. If not, continue to be in solidarity with us. Link with us, man, and let's build this movement. Let's get it to where it needs to be. Let's get free. Let's heal.
And if you're on Facebook, and I don't know if you saw the promo today, you can join the Mad Liberation Education Group on Facebook. It's a place where you got to be Black. So I know how some of you Negroes gonna be. So if you Black, you can come into the space. Now, if you one of them other people, is probably a socialist, Marxist, Leninist, Trotskyite, Gramsci group somewhere out there for you.
Yeah.
Where y'all could, worship Marx and all of that. But over here, we're gonna talk about Patrice Lumumba and Thomas Sankara.
Mark Garvey over here.
And we're gonna talk about Paulo Freire. We're gonna talk about Cabral, who actually inspired Freire. We're gonna talk about who the real thinkers who created communalism and how we actually apply it. So, it's MAD, M-A-D,
Liberation
Education Group on Facebook. Tap in. We working. So, and then next month, we working with Bookman Academy.
Yes.
He a brother in the UK, joined the IBFA. Got a whole website. It's dope. You're gonna look at the promo afterwards. You can go there and learn everything. And we want to incorporate his to having a space for homeschool. That's what his vision was. He want to build an online curriculum for homeschool. So, and y'all, Bomani and Z run a homeschool. So if you down there, if you tired of these white folk trying to tell you get a shot, okay, you got to hold it. Okay.
Y'all get y'all a shirt.
Yeah. So get a shirt. If you can't send a kid, send your baby. If you want your baby to come out revolutionary, and that's the key to it. I met their kids. Be clear, their kids just like my kids. They ain't robots. It ain't no cult. It's just regular black kids, but they conscious. They read books with characters that look like them. They celebrate themselves, and they got self-esteem that only come from being in a black school that tell you that you love yourself and that you're beautiful. So that's my little free commercial for y'all too. Yeah, I'll chop that up later.
Appreciate that shameless plug, brother.
Shameless.
One last thing that you brought up too. You said something like Anti-Police Brutality Day, something like that.
Yeah. So I this weekend I'll be getting on the phone with Uncle Bobby, Mike Brown Sr., I think Stephen Clark family, and some other families all across the country. We want to do the National Day to stop police brutality, and that's October 22nd. I think that's a Friday. So that weekend, we're going to ask cities all across the country. I know we was outside last year from George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and so many others. Let's be strategic and go outside again. Let's remind them who we are. Let's remind them and what we fighting for. And let's center the families, after what Black Lives Matter has done and kind of used and catapulted off of the protests and the families. Let's center them. Let's uplift their names. Let's uplift policies that we can change. And shit, let's turn all these mini uprisings into a revolution.
That's
What do you say? Like, I don't know. So, Shane, another plug. Dr. Travis Harris, he said, "Look, buy Hood Scholar shirts."
Yeah, oh God.
All the purple ones in.
So that logo that you see on the screen, that's the Hood Scholar shirts. He director of Black Revolutionary Education at the IBFA. That's what the shirt look like. Our organization, the IBFA, we are communal. We Pan-African. We believe in Black unity. I know some of you Negroes don't like that Pan-African word. We just believe the Black people should be working together. So whatever you want to call that, we'll teach you later what that look like. Okay. But the Hood Scholar gets his shirts from Africa. So Black people grow it, they refine it, they print it, and they ship it over to us, and we sell it. That's the Black unity that we doing. That's the Black economics that we practice. And it's cheaper than any other shirt that you can get. And I'm just keeping it a buck with you.
So y'all make sure y'all shop with Dr. Hood Scholar, because most of us are Hood Scholars in our own way anyway. So let's make that a movement with all of us Hood Scholars.
Like Malcolm, organic intellectuals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, brother, we got a sister. We got a homeschool collective.
Yeah. This D, she in St. Louis, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, we got a homeschool collective, and then we actually encourage and advocate people to homeschool.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're currently homeschooling out of our house. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have a building or two.
Right. We're in the works of that.
I want to buy the one down the street that I saw on the way.
The community
center.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we definitely got some folks that's looking out for us, trying to push us to the next level.
So we can expand.
But we did realize it is imperative to teach our children in the way that is conducive to their spirits, period.
In the way that we weren't taught. So we have control over that now. And know that we have control over that. So being knowledgeable of that it's been great. And Tori, I don't know if you want to share a little bit about the curriculum or how's it been going for you and your family.
Oh yeah, so this is the first year homeschooling at the crib. It's BANAS. It's crazy. And I went to school to teach secondary education. It's different. It's definitely different. But you know, I'm gonna just do it like this. You join the IBFA. You could be like me, and I could call Bomani and Z, be like, "Yo, this is
Right.
And you can have a network of experienced homeschoolers.
Really?
Mama
Yeah.
Betty, she was a teacher for 40 years. We have Black Panthers who used to run, you know, the Black Panther schools and neighborhood schools that they used to run. So you can have a network to lean on. I know we use what's the online curriculum?
Kamali Academy.
Kamali Academy. We gonna plug everything Black. This gonna be, and you know, we plug it, we think about it, we see it, and it's like, oh, it's good. And this is the things that we should be doing. We can't complain. You can critique all you want, unless you creating as much as you critique, you just a Negro complaining. So we gotta get off and kind of get to work. So
I say, and Keon, we got your shirt, bro.
Right. We got you.
But is you going? No, it's fine. I ain't gonna
We got you too.
Somebody
I'ma
stole
pull up
it.
for mine
Start
and-
name dropping. Who stole your shirt?
Don't be bringing your personal business here. Periods.
But Q, nigga, where that nigga shirt at, bro? We put it in your hands.
Oh shit, yeah.
We love y'all. We appreciate everybody coming, joining and participating. It's a family affair always with us. So again, you know, we want to make it feel as such.
One nation under a roof. Okay, that's our theme song.
It's okay. Oh, we got okay. And then chop that up.
Yes. But definitely y'all next Thursday. Same
Next
bad time,
Thursday.
same bad channel.
We're gonna be out here. I don't know what we're gonna talk about yet.
Right.
It's
That's
gonna be
still up in
something-
the air.
But it's gonna be something relevant to the people right now. Oh,
Right, y'all let us-
Sunday, so for all the members too, my bad. Sunday got a meeting. Please, Negroes, and so stop playing me. I can look in the email and see if you opened it.
You so silly.
and I can text you and see if you looked at the text. And we
know you
cold now.
seen
We got
it.
all that.
You so funny. Nah,
Again, at IBFA, we are petty.
we petty.
We petty revolutionary.
And if
Not petty bourgeoisie, petty revolutionary.
Petty revolutionaries. And if anybody have any topic ideas, you know, y'all want to discuss anything, you know,
Bring
something that we
attention to,
missing,
right.
criticisms, y'all run it, you know, with future topics, let us know what y'all want to hear, what y'all want to talk about.
It's a family thing, so hey.
Peace and power. Love y'all.
I love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
The truth of the matter is that we are the builders of this movement. We are the ones in the streets risking our lives going against the system. We are the policy creators and ground shakers. We are the ones who organize the survival programs and mutual aid for our people. We are the ones doing the educating, revolutionizing, and transforming of the masses. We are the ones that give every hashtag meaning, purpose, and direction. And we are the ones who will lead us into a future where freedom is not only possible, but our reality. The time has come for us to evolve from where our lives matter to where our lives are truly free. Welcome to the Black Freedom Movement. So one day we were thinking, how do we fund a Black freedom movement in a way that's both ambitious and empowering, yet transparent and accountable to the people? And then it hit us, the Black Freedom Fund, a fund that's for the people, by the people. The Black Freedom Fund will work like this. Each month, we will put out a plan for how and where the money will be spent. Then we, the people, will put money into the fund. Grassroots Black organizations and collectives will be able to apply for grants through video, forming a level of transparency and accountability. A committee of activists, organizers, and movement elders will be tasked with choosing the grantees and working with them to ensure that they succeed. Each grantee will give monthly, quarterly, and annual reports back to the community, showing exactly who, what, when, where, and why the money was spent, so we can operate in trust and keep building the movement our people deserve. Sounds dope, don't it? Yeah, we know. So let's launch it. Click the link, Check out the vision and put your coins in so we can continue that